Alright, good morning. Today is 7.4 dot plots and histograms. The content objective is I will represent data as supposed to be a histogram, and then language objective will be I will compare dot plots and histograms. So first thing I want you guys to do is the warm up. So there's going to be several vocabulary words that I want you guys to define here. Please use your notes to make sure that you get the best definition for these. Now, here's the first problem. So it says dot plot. A dot plot is a graphical display of data using dots. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to use this data here and we're going to draw a number line. I'm going to start with 1. I'm going to go all the way to 7. Now what you're going to do basically every time you see the number here, you're going to put a dot on this number line. So I see a 3 here. Here's my 3. Putting a dot here. I see a 3 here. Put a dot here as well. Do the same thing for the 4s. I see 2 4s. I see 1 5. I see 1 6. And I see 2 7s. Now, dot plot, basically its main use is for mode. As you can see here, I have 2, 1, 1, 2, and 2. It makes finding the mode really easily. But from this data, I can also go backwards. So I know that I have 3, I have another 3, I have 4, another 4. So if I gave you just this, it'd be the equivalent of having a list like this. So go ahead and practice on this. So do the same thing. I want you guys to go from, let's say, 3 to 7 on this one. And then you should be able to draw the same amount of dots. Now, this one's not in order, so you're going to have to put in order first. And then, or you can just go, alright, 3, plot to 3, 7, plot to 7, so on and so forth. Alright, now a histogram. A histogram is a graphical representation of the distribution of the data. Now, it's kind of similar to a dot plot, but this one's a lot more complicated. So on your paper, I should have given you this list. Now it says the following data is about ovens sold at an appliance store each day. Now there's a lot of numbers here, but the first thing you want to do is you want to put them in order. Now for the sake of time, I'm going to help you guys out, and I already have that on my next slide. So I've already crossed them all out. I already put it in order. And then you're going to have a frequency table. So you have to basically load all this information into a frequency table, and here's what it looks like. So frequency table looks like this. Here's the interval. So this is asking you how many times on your list do you see a number from 0 to 5. So if you go back to your list, you should be able to count 1. So it was only 1 there. So I had to put a 1 here. Now, you do the same thing for the rest of these. You go through, you check your list, how many times do those numbers appear. So again, I did the first one. It was only a 4, so it was only one number. Now my second range is from 6 to 10. Go back to my list. I'm going to cross this out actually as I go. I see 7, 9, 9, and 10. These are all numbers that happen in that interval, so there's 4 right there. I'm going to do the same thing for 11 and 15. So from 11 to 15, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 numbers in that range. Let me actually go ahead and circle this one right here. So that's that range. So I see 5. And then 16 to 20, I'm going to do the same thing. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I see 5 in this range as well. And finally, same thing for the last one, 21 and 25. So how many of these numbers do you see in the range? So 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Now I have 1, 4, 5, 5, and 5. Like, there's no pattern to these numbers here. It's just whatever is given to you on your list. It should match that same set. Now here's how it's supposed to look as a graphical representation. Now I'm going to keep my same intervals that I had on my table. So on my table I had 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25. Now, this right here is a bar graph, a histogram. This basically represents the number of times that one of these numbers appears in my list. Now, according to the table that I had, I only had one number that appeared between the 0 to 5 range, and that was a 4. So I'm only going to basically make my bar graph, my histogram, all the way to the 1. Now, according to my list, from 6 to 10, I had 4 numbers, so I make this go 4 high. Now, for the last 3, I had 5 each, so all of those go all the way to 5. Now, I do have mine kind of separated. You don't have to have them separated. You can make them right next to each other. And I believe that's, well, there's one more problem, and this time I'm not going to give you everything. So for this one, just like the dot plots, here's some information. I want you guys to put this in numerical order. So order it from least to greatest. Now this data shows the grades of students on a test. So this is the results of a test. And it's actually results of a test from last year. I think it was out of 80 points, so these are actually fairly good. Now put these in order, and then you're going to start filling in this table here, frequency table. So how many times these numbers appear, put that here, and then finally you will be creating the histogram. Now I started off with you guys 55 to 60. Basically copy over the intervals from the table, copy these onto the right side, and then go up here by, you might want to start with 1 and then go to whatever your highest number happens to be. Alright guys, good luck, and if you have any questions, please send me an email.